owner and creator behind CarolJo's. It is where community and creativity come together for the jewelry and accessory making world. We do lots of different things here. We have chats a couple of times a week, and that is where we talk about jewelry making and about running a small business. We also do tutorials where I show you step by step how to create jewelry and accessories. We do makers meetup where we're just creating together and talking and sharing and trying new things. So we do that. And then we have events where it is a chance for you to be able to claim items to add to your bead collections. We do those on TikTok only and another app that I can't say because TikTok doesn't like it. So that is what we do. I'm going to pull up my backup account because then I will be able to post, repost, and to add to my story this. There we go. Our live so that we can possibly get more in here. So let me bring up my backup account. There and there. I'm almost there, everybody. Once we get 10 shares, which we got, but if we can repost and add to our story, that helps our number. And if we can get 10,000 likes, we start doing giveaways. So there's add to the story. Got part of that done. And now I'm going to repost. There we go. All right. So tonight is a tutorial. We are going to make this necklace here. We're going to use different beads than the colors that I've selected, just so you can see what it looks like with different colors. And when you dangle, they sometimes go where you don't want them to. That's just part of it. But the reason why I'm doing this one is to show you how to use larger chain and have your beads be the accent and the chain is the focus. We are using with this one here in this example, I used all different colors of in the holy buckets. 8 people's FaceTime chat. No, we're not doing that tonight with Buttercup's phone. Hi, Ashley. So we used all different shades of the brown family with that gold chain. So we have that is our example for tonight. Declined it again. Why are they not? Hi, Kay. If they do it a third time, I think I'm going to lose my mind. I go live at 8 p.m. Let me have my time. Hello, just kids. Sorry. But anyways, so we're going to do different colors in the browns, but we are going to use that larger chain here. And so that is what we are going to do today. Okay. Sorry, then we're getting fun messages over here on the other tube. Yep, exactly there, Ashley. Hi. So, what we're going to need to be able to do this project, you can use silver chain if you want. I do have large silver chain over here. So, we could change it out to silver if that's what we want to do. But I just happen to have, yes, this is how I keep my head pins sometimes. My gold head pins just sit in that container. Yeah, I am. I had to do a timeout. Yeah. This phone is gonna be a fun one tonight. Thanks, Ashley. So I just have the gold head pin, so that's why I'm gonna stick with the gold chain. You can use either or. It just needs to be a larger chain. This is the textured chain that's an 8 by 6 by 1 millimeter. That's what we're going to be using. You could even use the 10 millimeter size if you want. That's what we've got going on. Head pins, you're going to need a clasp. And with it being, hi, Julie, this large of one, I don't need to have the other end. I just need a lobster claw clasp because it will fit in that chain. Then I have 4 millimeter size spacer beads. And then we need to pick our color of our beads. It's going to be something that's not going to like, we don't want the colors to be like bold. We want them to be smaller beads because they're the accent. And if we always remember, accents are usually our smaller size. So we're going to look at mostly 4, 6, and you might be able to put an 8 in there in whatever color we decide. You can do more than one color. What is sparking this one for me is, thanks Ashley, is that I did this similar necklace for my mother-in-law that she wore to the wedding. The gold was really truly what I wanted to be the focal of it, but we used the colors that were in her outfit to create the rest of it. You guys had seen, hi Sean Sean, excuse me. We had seen the colors in that bracelet, and I just used those colors, but I spaced them out. So if you notice here, we do not have heavily spaced beads. Hi there, city girl in Kentucky. What this is that there is one link in between each bead. And I went with a colored bead, a small spacer bead, colored bead, small spacer bead, all the way. So they are spread out and not right on top of each other. If we wanted the beads to be the focal, I would do a heavier concentration of the beads. Ashley is over on the tube for me because we're having fun over there. That's what I'll say. So when you think about, you can have some bolder colors per se. Thank you, Lori. And but we want them to be small, bold color because we had um 3 or 4 different color oranges. We had a really bold pink. We had green. She says, "Hi, Heather." We had what other color did we had a cream in there too. So we had cream, hot pink. It was not, maybe deep pink might have been the best color name for that one. And so green, it was a dark green, deep pink, cream, and then 4 different orange colors in there. Those are some bold colors, but they were all 6 millimeter or smaller. They were circles, they were bicones, they were faceted, they were just round. So we're using the textures to create some dimension, but not to be taking away from the chain. So that's what we're going to work on today. So we need to figure out what color do we want to use for this one that we're going to do in this. And I'm just going to use colors from behind me tonight. I am not grabbing colors that are beads that we have had in our events. We are just going to grab from behind me. So, and we can do different colors too. So if you guys want to put some colors in the chat for me so then I can figure out and start thinking, because I already used my thinking cap on the brown and on the earrings that I got to show y'all. I'm pretty proud of these earrings. We're going to have that tutorial tomorrow. Maroon. Ooh, I don't know if I have a lot of maroon, but let's go look. Let's look. Purple, salmon, dark blue. Let's see. You would think I would have more maroon with it being my school, my college colors, but I really don't. I'm wondering. I don't know. I want that one. I don't have very much maroon. Oy. I have a red in here, like a crimson color. Maybe we'll go with this one. See that one and that one. Okay. We're going to need 7 beads. All right. And then, you know what I'm thinking here? Oh, yeah, right. I do have a lot of beads, but there are some colors that I'm just like, hmm. But even though I know you guys probably didn't think this, but it made me stop and think about something here. And I think it would look cool with the gold. So maroon got me to this thought point. So you're gonna have to hold on. I'm gonna do those two, and then you guys, it's gonna be a surprise now what we're doing. Da, 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 da. We'll do this one. Oh, all right. And let's see. All right. You're gonna need a total of, I know, and I don't have very many 49er colors, if you can believe that. Um, you're gonna need a total of 14 colored beads. And then because you're gonna start in the middle like with a gold spacer bead and work your way up, and you'll have one on each side. I know. Can you believe that? Okay, I'm gonna put that one up, and then I'm gonna go over here. You guys haven't seen what I'm pulling yet. It's a surprise. Ooh, I got the right tray. Hmm. Hey, Danelle, how are you doing? I am pulling some fun beads here. There's one. This one. It's a mystery. Let's do. Okay, I'm going to switch these around. Okay. All right. Thank you, Lolly, for the heart me. Ooh, I would say that would be tiring. Holy buckets. All right, you guys, I'm going to point you down. I didn't tell you before I point you down, though, what you're going to need. You guys know I don't use this very often, but we're going to use this one. Oh, we're going to use the one step looper, the 1.5 millimeter size. We will need possibly our, no, we won't need these, but I got them here just in case we need them. The flush cutters. We will need a pliers. That's my chain nose. You may or may not need your round nose. So we brought some extras just in case. Okay. Now, those are our tools, and we also need a ruler to measure out how much chain we have. So those are what we need. All right, everybody, here you go. Once I go down, I may not always see comments. We have Ashley on the tube. She will be able to answer if she can. Um, thank you. And then on the TikTok, I have the backup account if I can see them there. But sometimes I don't pay attention to that when I'm designing. Okay. So here we go. Thank you for the oranges. Can you guys see the colors there? Whoops. I'm having a problem with, there we go. Let me know, Ashley, if I need to move it down because it might be in the chat. Red, white, and blue. When I started looking at the red, I was like, oh, it's getting to be close to the 4th of July. We're doing red, white, and blue. So that is what we're going to do. Yep. I'm just going to grab some head pins here. All right. And I need some spacer beads. Okay, it's in the chat. All right. I'm going to have to move you guys down. So hold on a second to you. Sorry if it's getting all like, I might take you off of the stand for a second. Hold on. You're going to be looking at the ceiling for a minute. See, there's our back. You can see the back end. There. Okay. Now you're coming back up with me. And now we're going to try putting you guys down again. Sorry that we did that. And I have the retouch on. I don't know how to turn it off. Nope, not that. I don't want a sticker. Nope, don't want any effects. Don't know what I'm doing there. All right. There. There we go. All right. Whew. And you guys can see my trays. Let's see if we can get you back on the mat a little bit. There we go. All right. Sorry. Thanks you for letting me know. All right. So we got gold 4 millimeter spacer beads. All of these beads that we have here, we have round that is not faceted, bicone faceted, round faceted, round not faceted round. This is a flat round that has facets in it, and then a round facet. So we have different textures to it, and that's what we want. We're going to go with, we're going to do one of the gold and then one of the beads. So we're going to do those onto our head pins right now. And of all things, this takes about the most of the time. Oops, I forgot my gold beads in between. Hold on, let me get those in there so I can get it all set up. Yes, my gold head pins are very long for the size of beads I'm using, but guess what, everybody? This is the only size I have of gold head pins. So you know what that means? I need to search for some smaller ones. Hi, Geraldine. There. And to keep this easy for me, I do one side of the necklace at a time. So I will do this step twice. And that's just me. If you guys can do it where you can do it like all the way across and all this one up here, go for it. I just can't. So then we take our one step looper and we're going to do this multiple times. We are going to put our bead in there. Do you see where it just sits right on top of there? And then it comes through this hole. We just push this together and then we take that off. We're going to repeat that step all the way across. And I'm just going to make a pile of my ends and throw those away at the end. I know some people reuse those. I don't. And I figured out something today that will make this really easier to put these on. And I will show you that tip in just a moment when we start getting ready here. It was a total fluke that I figured this out. The one step looper is a little bit big for my hand, just to be totally honest. I have like tweener hand size. I don't have very big hands. That one flipped over there, so he's going over there. So sometimes it's hard for me to do this and do it right. So just to let you know. Ah, come off. He's stuck on there. Well, I haven't had him stuck this bad before. There we go. Whew. I was like, what are we going to do if he's stuck? So some of the tools are too big for my hands because of my hand size. And it actually, to use the one step looper, actually sometimes does hurt my hand because I have to stretch it so much. So that's why I don't use, I mean, I don't, there's a couple of reasons why I don't use it that often. That's one of them. The biggest reason is I like when I create the dangles that I have done, we've talked about this in my lives before, that I just think that they're secure because they go all the way around. So there we go. Ah, there we go. Now we are going to put our clasp in there. We just put it on, close it back up like you do a jump ring. Okay. I found this out earlier today. Put this on your neck. Find the middle. So I'm going to find the middle first. There's our middle link. Put this on. Grab, I see where it's at. Okay. Grab your pliers. Open this up. I'm going to grab this and bring it over so you guys can see it. You grab this and put it on while it's on the neck. Close it up. I'm doing this over the neck, which was not what I was doing earlier today, so that you guys can see. We're going to close that up and make sure it is closed, because if it is not closed, it will come off. That's the one thing that I don't like about the one-step looper, is that we don't have that added security. So we're going to try this again. Come on back. And then we're going to close that up. Hold on. Awesome. It's because you're watching me. I might have to flip this around so that I can see it. Why does that not want to? Where's my round? Sometimes the round will get me. Okay, I love you too. I'll talk to you later. There we go. All right, I did the round and I used the round as my turn. I'm going to bring it on camera here. What I did is I used the round and I turned it like you would turn it to make a circle, and that closed it up. Okay, I'm going to come up just a little bit so that maybe you guys can see a little bit better, because we're up a little bit tonight with this than being on the mat. There we go. All right. It was all of a sudden it went black on me, Ashley. It was really weird. Now we're going to grab the white. We're going to go up one side. So let's say we're going to go up this side. Then we're going to put this one on and then close up that loop. I don't recommend doing this over the top of your neck. But if you notice here, I'm going to bring this up close to both of you. Do you see how I'm on the bottom here? I have that one loop in between, and then, or link, and then that one. That's what we want to do. And by putting it on the neck, it will lay that way and make it easier. What I recommend for doing it this way, though, is having this turned not towards the camera, but towards you, so that you're looking at it straight across from you, and just go up one side. I'm going up the left side. Maybe if I can find where I dropped that, hook that on. And then you close this up. And you want to make sure that you don't have an opening. Can you see where there's an opening in that one? We don't want that at all, because with the one-step looper typed technique here, those will fall off. So I am going to grab a hold of my round nose plier and bring that towards there. And now do you see how it's closed up? and we don't have that space in there anymore. And we're going to keep doing this all the way up the one side. And we're going to close this. You skip one of the links in there. Whoops. And why I think this, there's a couple reasons why I like using this when I figured it out. Because how I figured this out, everybody, is remember when we were on the live earlier? Okay, I'm back again, Ashley. So I had it on there when I was showing it to you. And then when I went to sit and do the other side, I was like, oh, this works. Otherwise, I was doing it down here. And when I had it laid down, I was constantly having to pick it up and make sure that my loops for were going on the right side of the link so that it was on the bottom side. So I wasn't going top and bottom, top and bottom. So I would highly recommend using a neck if you have it for this style of necklace. I know you guys can't really see it. I'm trying to do a more of a side view here for you so you can see kind of what I'm doing because doing it over the neck was not easy, but I can try that again. Okay. And over the top, like top down, won't work either. So I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to go in the bottom of this one and then I'm going to close it. Tonight, using these is working better for me. So I'm just going to grab these and keep using them. This is my round nose. Ow, that was my fingers. That's okay. We'll keep repeating it. Now we're going to go skip. And now we're going to be on this one. We're going to hook that, grab my pliers. I need to shut that a little bit before I grab the round nose because he's way over here. There. We're going to round that down. Maybe if I can grab a hold of it. There we go. There we go. He's on. Okay. Okay. Open this one. We got a gold 4 millimeter. Skip one, put it in here. This is going to take some time. This is not a rush necklace, but it turns out, I think, really cool. Stay on while I close you up. There we go. All right. This one. And I'm thinking I'm going to double check something here. Doing it over the top, I have not done two in between. So we're just going to have them all down here. We're just going to do one after another. We're not going to have very many on there, which is fine because the bead is supposed to be the accent, not. Let me see how that looks. Yep, I'm okay with that. We're going to do it that way. Okay, someone's going to have to do it so I can do that. Oh, you did teary eyes. Ooh. I'm going to move this gold one over and then I think I'll be okay with it. But I'll do that when I go up. That's good. All right. A lot of repetitiveness on this necklace. Just looking at it. I think I'm okay still. Okay. That one. So let's go this way. I keep going and dropping it off. There we go. Two more on this side. This one. There. And last one. Ashley is over on the tube for me. Okay. So really close together. That's what that looks like. There's the middle. She says, hi, everyone on TT. I'm going to look at this way. Now you understand. I don't know if I like it or not, but we'll continue. I don't have to love it 100%. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move a couple of these because they have them in there. So we'll go here. Now you understand how by place where you place your beads will determine. Hold on, I'm going to get this one on there. Move that over. I'm leaving that one there. There's a reason for it. To make this so that it would have not been the boldness of the colors that are right here. If I wanted to have it where the chain is our focal, um, spreading them out all the way up does that. So when you look at this one, do you see how they are spread out? And even if you use bold colors, I know we're not using bold colors in this one, but you don't, it doesn't take away from the chain. Whereas here we see those colors pop a little bit more because they're so close together. That's the difference on what I was going for a look. And we can see that difference because here they're all right next to each other, whereas there's a link in between each one on the brown. But it's not going to be a total loss. We'll just leave that. But it helped explain why I was doing those spaces in between each one. Now we're going to do our beads for the other side again. So we're going to do this. We could be symmetrical and do it so that they go all the way up this, so that like we would do this white right here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use the clear. And it's to give it so that it isn't, I am going for a non-symmetrical look. Now you're probably like, hey, you're not putting a gold in between. He's already on the chain. So this is like the one time I can do this and not have a symmetrical look. Because you guys know me, I am all about you start at the center and work your way up both sides. And we're not doing it on this necklace. But you can see now how putting that space in between really makes your eye move to somewhere else. Whoop, hold on. We need to go this one. I've got these in the wrong order. So hold on. There, he goes over here. Then that one. Then we need this red. Then a gold. Then we need, yep. And then we need this one. Go on. The white. And then one more gold at the end. Okay. I am extremely symmetrical person. I'm going to do these two and then I'll do the rest. There's a reason being for it, because or if we're doing every link, remember I had a couple of links over here in between these. So I move this one over. I can then put my gold and then I can put my clear and then take off from there. So I'm going to do those off camera so I can make sure I get them in the right spot. Okay. I don't know that I can do that one over my head or over the head of the neck. That sounds really weird, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. There we go. Now we're going to do this one. Okay. Now, these two were in between this one and this one. Now we're going to go up the chain the way that we want. So now I can do these all at once. I just didn't want to mess myself up. So let me get these all in a row here, and then we are going to start working on the other side. I'm surprised I have not. Trey has a game tonight, but I told Ryan I'm only going to probably go to, he has games 1 or 2 nights a week plus Sundays. And I said on weeknights, I might only go 1 night a week so that I can be live with you guys too. So Ryan went to the game by himself. Buttercup didn't want to go with. She wanted to watch something on Netflix, and then I needed the phone. Oh, he was like, whoops. Um, Ashley, are they trying to mimic her now too? Or copy? All right. There we go. I also had earlier tonight. Um, oh, can I unblock her? I will try. Okay. Um, there. I think I got her back. All right. So I'm a little bit off camera here. I'm going to move this over. So I'm just putting them on. Here, hold on. Let's do this. Let's get this over so you guys can see. I am just adding them and going up this side here. And I might be able to do that where you guys can see it and me not going over the neck. I think it was an accidental. I can see you now. Doo, 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 doo. Okay, my eyes cannot see that right this second. There we go. There we go. Ha ha. Gotcha, little dude. You don't have any power? Is anybody else having storms? Okay. There we go. Droosh. And when I was doing this, I just kept moving it down so that it'd be at the bottom, so I wasn't. It's really windy there. Oh, geez. Wind knocked out the power. We have that happen out in the hills, like where Mount Rushmore is at. It happens a lot out there because they can't put the power lines underground and they're up in the air, like way up in the air. There we go. All right. That's in that one. So we want this one. We had really weird rain yesterday. It didn't last for very long. So after I get done with the live, I need to go water plants because I have not done that today. So we want this one. side. We only have one more to go. Well, let me try that again. There we go. Let's see this side. He's not shut. I'm surprised he did not fall off. There we go. Whew. We'll go back towards the middle. There we go. There is our red, white, and blue. But you see how by putting so much color right so close together, I'm going to bring this up, that it takes away from the chain being the focal, and now our color is the focal, our beads. Now I'm going to put the other one on so you can see what I'm talking about. When you put those spacers in there, and I could have taken them all off and redid it, but I'm glad that we did it this way so that we could see how, they're spaced. So it's the beads are not the focal, the chain is. But I'm glad that we did this way so that you could see it and understand. And you know what? Our boo boo is a teaching thing. And it's all about how you can look at this and decide. And they're not all going to lay like this necklace is not for like laying it down picture perfect. It is going to be up and down and all around. And that's just what happens when you use the dangles. They don't all stay where you really want them to be. They're going to go up. And then throughout the day, they'll be down and they'll be up and they'll be down. It's just part of it. It's not about having this perfectly laid necklace. Cuz watch, I'm going to put it on and I'll show you what I'm talking about. See, it doesn't. I got it my shirt. Here, how about if we do it this way? We'll move that up. Er, There we go. This neck isn't the right neck to wear with this. But you see, they're going to move as you move. And that's okay. But that's what the difference is. So that's that one on. I got to find the closure. There it is. Okay. Now I'm going to show you this one on so you can see the difference. Both of these. All right. There. You see how it's a little bit, these are the same amount of beads, but you see how it lays differently by having all the spaces in between it? And how, to me, the gold is really what I'm seeing. And you don't see as much of the color. I could have used, if we would have done that with the red, white, and blue, we would have seen them, but the gold is going to be. So this is what I was trying to do, but I didn't get it in there right. And we started going up and we had more of them close together. So I made the decision on the fly that we're going to have them close together. I just wanted you to, then it was able to allow you to see why I wanted the space. And the space is just one of the link of chains in between. So hopefully that helps you guys understand how one little change can really change up the look of a necklace. And I think this is funny because I think this is more elegant and I'm wearing a hat today. We were in the Mustang, so you got to have a hat on when you have a convertible. But that's what I wanted to really emphasize on this necklace is to have the one link in between each of the beads. And when I mean each of the beads, I'm going to show you here. Ow, it's got my hair. There we go. All right. Sorry. I got my hair stuck in it. But there is a small gold bead. in between each of the colors. So even though it looked like it's really spaced out, we have that gold bead in there. I'll show you over here. So we have the color, the gold bead, the color, the gold bead. So it gives a very big. No, my Challenger is not a convertible. The Challengers were not made to be convertibles. You had to pay somebody to make them into a convertible, for the newer models. If you get an older one, there are some that are convertibles, but yeah, mine is not. My husband has, he's a Ford guy, as we all talk about. And so we have four Mustangs. One needs to be finished yet. Um, but we have three that we can drive at any point in time, and they're all four are convertibles. We do not have a hardtop Mustang. I'm like, dude, can we have a hardtop? Really, seriously, can we have a hardtop Mustang? And so the last one that we got is the right color for everything. I just wanted a hardtop instead of convertible, but he wanted it, so that we got. Yeah, so I want him to get rid of two of the four, because who in the world needs four convertibles? We'll see what happens. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. And really, I really love how I boo-booed on this one, and it makes it so you can see the difference. If anybody has questions on this, please ask away. I did not do these as the loops because that would take a long time to do it. I wanted to show you how you can do these very quickly. Yes, it doesn't seem like it's quickly, but it takes about 45 minutes or so to do one of these, just to be totally honest with you. So that was our tutorial for tonight. I'm glad you're all staying on, because I have I made it ahead of time. Our example for tomorrow. They are these. You use for these memory wire, the bracelet size memory wire. These are just 4 millimeter glass beads that are a bicone. You can use any form. You can use 3 millimeters, 4 millimeters, any shape that you want. Then I added an accent color on these. These are from these we have had up today on the other app. These were available. These, sorry you guys, these are from my own collection. These are Riverstone. I will never give those up. But you could use turquoise round, you could use whatever. And that's what I want to teach you is that you can use all the same shapes. You can use all rounds, you can all use all faceted. You can do all kinds of things with these. You can create a charm, or you could use a head pin and do something. I can't wear them. I do not wear dangle earrings. I wish I could, but I cannot wear dangle earrings. And so I'm going to show you tomorrow on the live how you can have them, because if you were to wear these, they're going to be this way. Some people like them more when they are this way rather than this. Hold on. Like this is how these are. And some people like them when they're this way. And so I'm going to teach you tomorrow how to make them both ways and how easy these are. These literally, for me trying it out to do this, it took me more to figure out how many beads to put on it than it did anything else. It was theirs are very, very simple. And once you figure out how many beads you want to put on, I'm like, holy wow. And I will tell you, we did 15, 7, and 15 on each earring. So that's a total of 37 4 millimeter beads for each one. And you can do this where these are going to be 5 instead of 7. You could do it 9 instead of 7. And then you just adjust. But I figured out 37 is the number. That took me the longest to figure out that 37 is the number. So you can do it where if you wanted to do every other color, there's so many patterns that you can do, but I want to teach you the basic of how to do these. I struggled with the memory wire ones. I will look up her name because I cannot remember. Thank you for the heart, me Rose. I cannot remember her name right off my head right now, but she did a tutorial and on this. And I'm like, holy wow. Once she explained one thing, and I'll explain that tomorrow, it made me go, I can do these now. I have always sat there and really wanted to do really cool, different earrings with the memory wire, but I never got them the same size. And that was a hard thing for me. So I will share with you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central on both YouTube and TikTok, as long as YouTube likes me tomorrow. Um, how to make it easier. So I'm so excited to teach this one tomorrow. We're gonna probably make a few pairs of this. So that is why, and that's why today, when we were on our encore earlier today here on TikTok, I kept saying this will work for tomorrow. This will work for tomorrow because those beads will work. And I'm like, they will be so cool. So I don't know if anybody wants me to show those again afterwards. You guys will have to let me know. You know what? That is the easiest thing that you're going to be doing. Some people, I will tell you, like them this way. I'm one that's going to like them this way because I don't like the bigness. But like my daughter would love this way. So it really comes down to what is your preference? And this is something that when I show it to you, if you do in-person events, if you would bring some jump rings with you and they say, I want it the other way, it is so easy. Yep. And yep, you do need the double-sided charms when you do these, if you're going to put a charm in the middle of them. So yeah, and not all charms are double-sided. So when we do Charm Saturday, the charm event on Saturday, if you guys want me to know, I can tell you if they're double-sided or not for that decision. Trust me, I can. All right. I am gonna head off or hop off. I'm not heading anywhere. I have 5 electronic communications to send out from earlier today. And I will package any orders that are taken care of. I have some I'm going to do. If anybody else gets them, if anybody else wants them taken care of before 9:30 tonight, I will get them packaged up and out to you, and have Ryan take them to the post office tomorrow. Oh no, 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 no! There's no mail tomorrow. The post office is closed. It's a federal holiday. I'm going to hold your packages, so I don't have to do that tonight. Why did that all of a sudden just dawn on me? I've got everything printed, ready to go, and I was going to do them, but I can hold off because there's no mail. All right, everybody. Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. on both the Tube and TikTok. Everybody, have a great one. Bye.